Hate to be working on this car and it's dusty like this. At least let me wipe this boy down some before I get it started. All this finna come off of here. Alright, man, I finally made it back out here with this edge. Ever since I took that head off of here, I haven't even touched this car in probably like 3 weeks or so, probably longer than that. But this don't look like much, man. Just move the coolant jug, the windshield wiper out the way, get the battery tray, pull all this out. This don't look like much. I think I can get this engine on up out of here. I'm gonna use that pan for all my bolts and screws. And I got a big thing to make me a wheel chalk with, and I gotta measure that so it can hold the hood up. But I gotta push this car away from the curb. The only thing I'm worried about on this is the exhaust. Like, it's one exhaust bolt that's stuck and I really don't want to cut it, but let me go ahead and try to start plucking this engine out this car. I managed to cut that wood up and use these little things right here to hold the hood up. The hood ain't going nowhere. You really only needed that one on that side, but go ahead and start plucking this front end. I think these are a bunch of 10s or maybe some 8s or whatever. A bunch of screws. This piece pop out, take the headlights off, pull this off, and then I gotta drain that transmission. It's like a 11mm down underneath that. That's what I'm gonna start with, since I already have most of this stuff done. I don't think this is gonna be no hard job for me, man. We gonna finish working. These bolts go on the side and the black ones go in the middle. It's only 2 of the black ones. Alright, so I'm laying underneath here, just popping all the clips out. That's what I'm using. And then I got a 5.5 to drop these out of this plastic piece. It should come on down. I got a couple more. Let me go and get this out first. Well, I should have on some glasses. I'm glad my eyes ain't underneath it. This thing tear me up. No, I ain't got those jack stands balanced out too right. I'm gonna balance it out better once I get these lug nuts off of here. Like super tight. I haven't took these lug nuts off of here in a while, so. I gotta take this tire off just so I can get that fender well out to finish dropping the so I can take the bump off. Alright, so I got this fender well, and look at all these clips. When they did my engine swap, they ain't put nothing back inside this thing. It's only 3 clips in here and a bunch. I think these 5.5s right here should be still, yeah, they look the same. So I'm gonna take all these out right quick. Hopefully I don't lose them. Alright, so I forgot to unplug the lights in there before I snatch this down front piece off, but it should come right off of here now, all in one piece. Just don't forget to unplug the lights on both sides. Alright, we gotta get all this stuff out the way. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with this AC stuff, because it might just hang off to the side, but my wife going to give me some bags so I can bag and tag everything. I'm not just taking screws and shit out, just throwing them everywhere, so I can start working on these headlights and getting all this stuff out the way. I'll just leave the headlight bulbs inside of there and make sure. I'm gonna probably tape them up so I won't crack them and put them off to the side, but these headlights come off pretty easy. It's only 3 bolts on here. Whatever that was. Headlight pop out, just unplug it. My wife just came back from the store. She got me a box of these so I can bag and tag every bolt, every screw. And like I said, I'm just throwing them inside so I know where every bolt, everything goes. Won't be missing too much of nothing. I guess I could start working on this windshield washer fluid and drain this out. It's a hose or something that drains it out. Let me get that out. I ran upstairs and grabbed me this tape, because I'm going to tag every little thing that I'm taking off of here, so I'm not finna be guessing or looking for no bolts or no screws or whatever. Everything gonna get tagged. I'm gonna mark these up and finish taking the front end off once this done. I almost filled this jug up. I think it's like 3 bolts on here, 1, 2, and 1 up top. So I got my little tagging setup going so I can tag everything that I took out. Finally got the jug out and stopped dripping. I marked up my little dots on here so I can just line this back up good. I just threw my little foam on there that I got, so that's working out good. Let me go ahead and snatch this front off and get down here and take some more off. I gotta take this off too. I'll tell you one thing, with this bagging and tagging and taking the necessary videos that I need, this stuff is not that hard, but I marked that too. It's taking a long time now. It's definitely not. It's gonna be something I'm gonna be working on. My wife just went to go buy me another step stool too. Like I said, every little thing that I take off, make sure I'm tagging it up. My baggies. We gonna finish work. Now I guess I could finally get these off. It was 2 bolts up here, 1 bolt underneath here. It was in here 13. This was bolted right here, and this was bolted right there. I think they was all 13s, and I had to put a bolt back inside of here because I'm not trying to snatch this whole front end off just yet. So now this bar should slide out the way. That should come out. Yeah, she coming along though. So I got a 11mm on this transmission side. I'm gonna drain the fluid out of here, and then I'm gonna use my little tools that I got from Harbor Freight to disconnect the lines, because I'm trying to pull this whole front piece off with everything still connected and hang the air conditioner stuff off to the side. I might not even unplug that stuff. So let me do the transmission fluid right quick. When I tell you, it was like one little drop came out of there, like nothing even really came out. And I know I filled that thing up to the line or whatever once I started the car up and ran, and like that's all that came out. It was like a little drip and that was it. So I'm gonna see if I can snatch these lines off right quick. This is the little kit that I got from Harbor Freight to do the fuel lines and the AC lines or whatever, but this is the kit that I got too for the fuel lines and the transmission lines. And I watched the guy with the little metal kind. He was really struggling with that thing, so I decided the metal ones was like $7.99, but this was $16, and I'm only using this 1/3/8 out of it. So I just went on and spent the money because I don't want to. Hopefully this work out a little better on the transmission lines. Hey, on one of them transmission things, I had it going this way and tried to pull it out. So one of them broke, then I turned it around to the back side, just pulled it off. So now I just got to get another clip. So I'm finna see if I can just go ahead and pop these things. I got my son holding the camera right here. Now watch this dude just clamp this crap on here. I don't know if this gonna work or not now. Dang, is it even a 3/8? Like, do I need something bigger than this? I act like it don't even want to close up. I don't think this the right size. I just ran to AutoZone to grab these right here and found that receipt, man. I told her that was $15, $16 going back to the stove. Receipt looking just like that. So hopefully this 3/8 or this 1/2 inch fit on this thing, because like I said, I can't continue on without getting the lines off. And this is exactly why I bought this style line removals in the first place, because I knew I didn't want to mess with these cheap scissor. Like, man, I cannot get these lines off of here. And it looked like this one came down some, and it still won't pop out of here. I think I'm just gonna have to order a tool, and I want the same ones that Buddy had that was made like these. Instead of playing around with this stuff, you gotta just try to hold it. It's not even going in all. Look how I'm beating this thing up. That's why I ain't want to buy that style. It's not that hard of a job. It's just that one little thing holding you up. So I think I can go and get it out of here. This is what I was bagging and tagging with, writing all my stuff on here so I can easily put it back together. Let me go and wrap this up though, because I can't get those lines. I'm gonna have to order another tool or something. I got my new tools in. As soon as I ordered this part right here, it came on in. They said it was gonna be here in 2 weeks, but I already went to O'Reilly's and got one. So now I just had two. They say they break pretty easy. I got this little light from Harbor Freight too. This thing should do some good. Make sure I can see everything. And it's a little magnet there. I should have bought two of them. It's a decent little light, but let me go and pop this tire off and get straight to the transmission lines. Hopefully I can get this out of here, man. This is what's holding me up. I'm sitting up here beating the crap out of this tool right here, and this thing is just not working. I haven't even opened this pack, and something told me, why is it a nut on these transmission lines right here? It looks like it's a nut on there. So I'm like, what if I just turn that nut and pull this down instead of trying to pop this line out? Man, that transmission line came right out of here. It's a nut on here that you can just stick back in there. Do not worry about popping these lines out of here. I done set up here and bought all these tools. I done been out here for almost 2 hours, man. All I did was just took them grips and turned the nut up there. And now my lines are loose. Don't worry about popping them out. And another thing is this nut was like, my 25 wrench didn't fit on here, so it might be a 27. But all I used was my grips and turned the nut, man. This thing popped right out of here. And you could just probably tighten it back up. See, you could tighten that back up and don't even worry about popping the lines out. Took me 2 hours to figure that out. Everybody on their video struggling with the metal tool, this, that. I'm like, man, what if I could just turn the nut? And that's how I did it. Now I gotta work on the AC line, and then this front part can come on off. Once I lock these grips on there, yeah, it just turned. Yeah, I do not worry about messing with these freaking lines all that time like that. Nobody said that you can just undo these things. I'm doing that engine, so I'm trying to get this stuff out of here. In the morning I might go pick up an engine and just turn this thing out. This one seemed like I didn't have to turn that other one that much, but you see how easy this coming out, and the fluid gonna come right down. There you go. Just pop the lines out from here. Don't worry about all this extra stuff. There's no need for this. Alright, so now I got my Harbor Freight light. Let's see how this gonna do. I paid like $7 for it. Let's see how this gonna do for this engine bay. Like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely be able to see, and you can twist and turn this thing all around whichever way you want to. Stick it up here, and I got plenty of light. Okay, so about this air conditioner, I'm working on here. I popped that 13 off right here, and then just pull this right on down. So I guess since this car been sitting for so long, there was no refrigerant in here, so I didn't, I wasn't finna take this car nowhere to get no system evacuated and doing all. I wasn't finna do all that no way. So luckily it was nothing in here. Let me go and finish work. I got this little kit from Harbor Freight, and I used that 5/8 on here, and it actually popped right off. It wasn't, as soon as I pressed it in, it pulled right out. That wasn't even a struggle. So this is my struggle right here, man. This electrical connection is like so stuck. I cannot get this thing off of here. I'm gonna pop this one off next, and then try to get this out. Like, I might have to put something on here or something. This electrical connection will not come off of here for nothing in the world. 8mm bolt right here. You just stick a wrench on here and get that 8mm out. It's holding the AC lines on, I think. Cause I don't have no ratchet and wrench. That ratchet fit right in there. I just gotta get this line off. All this stuff is, this front end gonna drop off, and I'm gonna be able to work on some more stuff in here. I still got the compressor hooked up and this hooked up, but man, fighting with this thing for almost 30 minutes. I'm trying not to break it, man. I just don't have no more energy, man. I might have to call this a day. There's literally no way that I should have been fighting with that electrical connection like that, man. That thing, bro, I'm telling you, I just don't have no energy, man. I don't have no energy. Them AC lines took a lot out of me. I done been out here for 3 hours, boy. I still ain't got this front off of here. But as long as I bag and tag, I know where all this stuff go. We got one more bolt in here, and I should be able to drop this thing off. Matter of fact, I could do this right now. Let me see if I can see it. Got one more bolt. It's an 8mm. And it's gonna come right off the AC lines. Oh, that came right out. So let me take that bolt out, take these two off, and this front end should come off. Here go that bracket right here. It had that 8mm. This goes right up in here. That line is off. All of the lines are disconnected now, so let me drop these two tins off, and this whole front should fall off of here. So let me use both of my hands. I don't want this thing to fall. Dropped it off of there. I'm telling you, I learned how to do this stuff just from watching these guys on these YouTube videos, man. They really put everything together, but you still gotta improvise and do what you need to do for yourself. Cause some stuff that they do, it might not be the same or whatever. So I only learned how to do this because of them. So now what I gotta do is move a bunch of this wiring. This AC stuff is still hooked up. I still ain't undo this. My alternator is still hooked up. So I'm gonna just move some of this wiring, man. But to be honest with you, I'm kinda tired. I might just call it a day. Probably go try to pick up an engine tomorrow, throw it in the garage, and then come back out here and finish working. Man, this is exactly why I didn't unplug this alternator in the first place. This might be a 13 or something on here, I don't know. Hey, look at this. These electrical connections in this car, man. God, I can't even move that thing. I'm trying not to break nothing. I'm gonna go in and take the alternator off because I don't want to leave it right here. I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful with this stuff so I won't break the connections out like that. I'm starting to get frustrated, so it might be time for me to wrap it up. Let me just get this alternator out and throw everything, put everything up. That was a 13 on that. So I just got to bag and tag the connections. Yeah, let me go and wrap this up, man, because I don't want to be breaking no connections like that. Alright, so I finally made it back out. It's probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe like 2:30. Still ain't messed with this AC stuff. I'm finna move a bunch of this wire to the side, but for now, I'm finna just go up underneath the car and do the exhaust bolt. I might have to cut that exhaust bolt off, and I'm gonna undo the transmission mounts and all that. I'm gonna try to get something done underneath the car so that way I could just stand up here and pluck all the rest of this out the way. Let me get up underneath that though. There you go, I finally dropped this pipe down. After all that time, man, that thing, I've been fighting with this pipe ever since I was doing the water pump. I knew that bolt was loose. I'm just gonna throw that away. I don't want to touch that with my hand. That thing hot too. I don't even know why I stuck it back up there. But whatever, it'll come off of that now. I finally dropped this pipe now. I end up peeling that metal off. End up dropping my whole pipe down now. If you can see it, but whatever. I've been fighting with that bolt ever since I was doing the water pump. So that thing is messed up on there. I'm glad I didn't have to cut this thing down. I know you can't see right now, but whatever. Drop the pipe down. Let me mess with the transmission mount. That ain't really nothing to do, like a shield on here and a 15mm bolt. And I guess we can go back up top after that. Alright, let me try to get under here if you can see this. I think there's like some tins on this little dust shield thing right here. It might be some tins. There wasn't no 8. Get these 10mm nuts off this shield. That should come off. I gotta make sure I don't lose those. And then what I'm doing up here is, what the hell? I guess this is a 15 and this is just push up for the transmission mount. I don't think I have to touch none of these. So let me get that 15 out. Alright, I got the 15 cracked. I just had to use both of my hands for this transmission mount. I don't think I gotta take these. Why does this thing look bent? Let me just get this nut out and then hit this up and this mount should come loose. Hey, so I got that 15 out. This is a pretty long bolt too. And that just, you can just bump that up to release this thing. I got this little hammer right here. See, if I don't put on some shades or glasses or something, I'm glad I wasn't sitting under there. So that transmission is done. Like I said, I can't rotate the engine, so there's no point in me messing with this torque converter on here, but I can get this plate off of here. And what else do you need to take off? I might take some of these transmission bolts out. Is these the transmission bolts? Shit, I don't know. I don't know. They might be these up here, not the little small ones. Probably could take some of these out while I'm down here, and then I'll be done underneath here. Cause like I said, I'm gonna have to keep the torque converter on. Alright, man, I'm back up top. I got the little plate out. Like I said, I couldn't spin nothing around, but I didn't take none of the bolts out of that transmission. I know it's a bunch of oil pan bolts, but I'm just trying to make sure that those are the transmission bolts. There's so many bolts underneath there. I don't know where to start to take it out at. So I'm gonna just get this out the way, clear up some of this stuff, and I'm gonna have to pop that AC off and pull all this stuff to the side. Right, I'm gonna just work on this battery side for now till I figure out which bolts went to that transmission. But just bag and tag over here on this side, and then I'm going to disconnect. I still ain't took that AC line off of there. I guess you take it off from the bottom and move the line out the way. Get the starter. Let's just get some of this wiring off to the side, open it up a little bit. Let me take all this stuff off first and then pop this out. So what I'm doing with this transmission thing, I know that it's a way that you pop this out of here, but what I did the last time when I changed the starter, I just took this one bolt out and this whole thing lift up, and then I gotta figure out how to, let's say, stick something between there and pop this up. But you really don't have to pop this off the ball and risk breaking this thing. I could just take this nut out right here and this whole thing could just lift up. So I'm gonna do it that way because that's the way I did it when I did the start. I didn't remove this at all. So the way that I dealt with the cable, I just took that one 15mm nut off because I don't want to run the risk of popping this up and breaking it. And then I just stuck a screwdriver on each side and this thing just popped right out. That'll still be on there. I just took out the 15mm nut that's right there. So I guess you can move that off to the back somewhere or whatever. Let me get this battery box out and take this starter wires off. Alright, man, guess what I just found? My 8 and my 10, both ratcheting wrenches, man. Make my life a little easier. Get that starter wire out. I need to cherish those because I've been looking now. I'm taking this battery tray out of here. Ain't no joke. These things being so rusted, this finally had to get an 11 to fit on here. Hopefully this thing even spin out of here. It's so rusted. Nope, it's not spinning, man. It's not a 10. Man, this thing, I've been fighting with this battery box. I'm trying not to cut it off. I'm telling you, I've been fighting with this battery box now. This stuff being so rusted. At first, the 11 was fitting on there. Now, this 10 is fitting on here. So, my other 10, and that's not even going. Man, I'm going to end up cutting this battery box off of here. Ain't no 10 or no 11 fitting on there. Let me see if I can put something else on here. I ain't got time for this crap, man. Crowbar gonna get the job done. And look at the bolt right here. This thing is not finna spin out of here. Nothing is grabbing onto here. But if you sit the battery tray back in here and it's bolted right here, this thing ain't gonna go nowhere. I don't even understand why they hide these things in the middle of here. You're just gonna have to break it out because it's not finna spin off. time to be messing with something so simple. This battery box is not coming out of here. I'm not finna keep playing with this thing. The front of it gonna be cracked, but the back of it should be good. The wiring harness is all off to the side, except for, I gotta figure out why is it inside of this plate. It's a plate that's right here where that head was. And once I do that, figure out this little piece of wire is the only thing that's caught. Undo the lines right here on the compressor. And like I said, there's no point in you touching the 4 bolts and the ones under here and under there. You can just get to this engine, to this transmission mount, whatever it is, right here, right here, right here, and just take that center bolt out and it'll drop right off. You don't have to fight with getting bolts out all up underneath here and doing all that. Don't even make sense. So this engine will be ready to come out. AC line, if I drop that off and drop the one line out, I gotta go get the engine hoist. And I still gotta do the axles too. I left that for last. I ain't even taking none of the axles out. So it's a couple of more things. And I end up pulling this bracket off the front of here. And I'm trying to trace this harness. It's like a bolt right here. And then it's basically clipped inside of here. So what if I wouldn't have had that head off? I probably would have never saw that. It's a wiring harness, and then this whole thing, my whole wiring harness would be out the way. I'm glad I caught that instead of snatching on this stuff. I managed to pop that sensor off, so I tagged that. That thing can, well, I could probably take this with me. I just gotta remember how this was mounted inside. It was a 13 on here. This piece is touching the block right here, and then that dust shield covers it up right there. So now my whole wiring harness is off to the side. It's AC time. Then I gotta pop the wheels off to do the axles, and then go on and drop it off this one mount. Alright, so what I did right here was just popped out the 2 8s, and I still have the line is hooked onto that bolt. I gotta lay underneath there and get it off. But to be honest with you, you almost don't even have to touch this line up here because it's not in the way. Like, everything is off to the side. You're just taking this off just to be taking it off. Even though it'll come out easy, but all I have is get that bolt out the AC, do the axles, because I ain't touched neither one, and the one engine mount. Taking that engine out, I see the importance of balancing that thing out, man. I'm gonna need that to keep that thing straighter than what I did, because them engine mount points will have that engine tilted to the side, and yeah, we gonna have to get something to balance it out. Get my little 10% off for Labor Day. Probably be like 40 bucks. Just made it back in. I'm trying to let the sun go down some, but with that 10% Labor Day little coupon, this thing is like 36 bucks. But yeah, right out the box, this joint is already assembled, so it should help me balance that engine out way better. This thing got a little weight to it too. Should have bought it in the first place. Thing about that yellow low lever thing, it already comes assembled. This thing is not together. It shouldn't be nothing to do though. Just put that on the end, and these chains are way longer. Just that one chain is way longer than the yellow one, so that's gonna work out way better. Just put the end of it, and it's way heavier too. It's like a 2-ton. It should work out though, man. Like I said, I see the importance of balancing that engine out, because when you hook it on to the mounts, it's gonna tilt all the way down to the side. Like, nah, you gotta have that thing balanced and make it come straight out. So that's why I got those locks, to try to lock the chains on instead of just laying them inside of here. But let me put this together right quick. So I took that yellow joint back to Harbor Freight and grabbed the gray one with the longer chains on it. That yellow one is just made for probably grabbing the intake or something. Let me take this off of here. But you gotta assemble this one, so I got some locks to put on the side. This is a 17mm nut on here. This thing is not like super tight, but it's not gonna come off. Let me put the chains on the side with the locks. That's the reason why I'm sitting up here putting a lock and just closing this thing up, because I don't want this chain pulling out of here and just easily able to slip out of here. So if I have that lock on here, this thing is not going nowhere. This lock has nothing to do with nothing. It's just holding the chain on to keep it from slipping out. Like, this will easily come out of here. Waking up, I gotta take that converter off of there. Finna finally get the day started. I just lift this hood up. I found that pallet somewhere. I'm gonna try to stick some wheels on there. Like I said, all I gotta do is pop both of the axles out, get the CV axles out, and drop this one engine mount. This whole thing gonna fall right out of here. Look at this right here. If my intake was on here, everything was on here, and let's just say the coolant pipe may have leaked. Like, I don't think it would have leaked from right here. Did I not have these things closed up tight enough or whatever? Because how can the coolant pipe leak and then that stuff come and it goes all the way down towards that way? It might not have been the coolant pipe that was leaking. It might have been these hoses right here. Where do these hoses go? I could change them while I'm right here. I don't even see them. They all back there. It was the reason why I saved these axles for the last thing. Look at this, man. And this is a brand new axle when we put it in here. This thing was just replaced, but I think it's just the boot part that came off of here. I don't think the actual axle is messed up, because we had just replaced this thing no more than probably 5 months, 6 months ago or something. Maybe it's these rings on here. I never seen it. Don't make me just chop this damn thing off. But if the ring is holding this boot, I'm not that experienced with no axles. I think it's just the boot came off. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it out. Just take this off, or take off whatever, pull this forward. I'm gonna go on and pop it off. I ain't gonna mess it up. We're here still battling with these brakes. Damn speed sensor bolt is like stripped out inside of there, and I better hope that this axle come off of here. I'm gonna have to drop this car back down if it don't. Good, I ain't gotta drop the car back now. But like I said, this stuff was all recently changed. We did these axles, we did the tie rod ends, the sway bars, the ball joints, everything was new on here. So I'm hoping when I take this out, it's just the boot that came off. I popped the axle nut off, so let's see what this Milwaukee could really do. Is she gonna get these brake bolts out of here? Because it's way smaller to reach up here. I can get to this one down here, see if it's gonna come off or not. Nah, this ain't coming off here. Oh damn, it did come off. I done got the tool stuck. What the hell? I got the tool jammed up between. I shouldn't have did that. Let me drill it back in. Damn! I can't even. I got this motherfucker stuck. I shouldn't have did that. Let me get this out of here. Set up here and scratch my damn drill up. I'm trying to do that, man. I grabbed those zip ties because that's what's gonna hold the caliper. Well, you live and you learn. I know not to do that on the other side, so let me just crack this off, hang this up, take out the 2 bolts, knock this axle in, and go on and pop it out. Still gotta work on getting this top bolt out right here. It's a sad day, man. I done set up here and broke my fucking drill. This thing will bust this whole car down, man, with absolutely no problem. And I just fucking set up here. When I jammed it in between there, it touched on the back part right here. And all of a sudden, this motherfucker just stopped working. That's a good drill, though. I gotta get another one. I was planning on buying another one anyway because I wanted to. It's a sad day, man. I just threw this back in, pulled the axle off to the side. But for some reason, I'm looking down here. It looks like this axle is already popped out of this doggone transmission. Look how far out that thing is. That's supposed to be all the way in. I might not have no trouble. Shit, this thing might pull off here. What the? Yeah. I'm glad that I wasn't driving this car. I did not just think that was finna happen. And I thought it was the boot. I might as well leave this on here and go on to the other side. And just throw the tire back on, throw the caliper back on. That's exactly why I saved this for last. I still can't pop the damn thing out of there, and it's already halfway off. I can't even see it. It looks like it's already halfway. I still can't pop it out. That's exactly why I saved this for last. Let me put this rotor on here, throw this tire back on here, get to the other side. Hey man, I dropped everything back on, because yes, I will be pulling this engine out with the car sitting right here on the ground, but over here finna start working on this side, and this axle don't look as bad, but I'm thinking about just changing both of them anyway. The axles and them ball joints, I had a move ball joint on here that tore up in like 2 weeks, and whatever brand axle that was, all that stuff came off Rock Auto. So I don't know if I'm gonna even keep this one on. I'm finna start and just see how it job. I was like, man, where the hell did all that transmission fluid go when I took my 11mm out? Now I know where the transmission fluid went. This one popped. Oh my god, man, like, are you fucking? I'm gonna do my best with trying to clean this stuff up, but I think I'm finna put that timing cover and grab that engine mount and throw it on the side right here. So you see, my engine was locked right here, and you can get to the torque converter. I'll just worry about this once it's out of the car. You can actually move this torque converter to get to the bolts. I'm putting a pry bar right here. Yeah, it's turning though. You can turn it from right there, get to them torque converter bolts, because I don't want to take this back to the junkyard and then get on my torque converter. At least I'm gonna keep that. And I'm halfway home, got everything lined up. What I just did was just snatch the big bolt out the middle. This mount should drop right on off. I got a jack that's holding it. It's not going nowhere, because I was just gonna take the 4 bolts out so I can get my chains on this side, but it's not happening because I can't get this bolt out right off the top. It's like a 14 or something. The rest was 15. But you definitely don't have to worry about messing with the rusty bolts right here and getting in here and doing all that. You can leave this whole engine mount on here. So once I lower the jack down, I'm gonna try to just hook my chain right on up to the top of the mount. I think I just cleared the frame, because she leaning, boy, she leaning. Let me just turn it and try to balance it out a little bit. Yeah, she out of there, man. Like I said, you don't need to be fighting with this engine mount. Worry about that bolt got too much Loctite on it. I'm grabbing it from the mount and from this mount. And over here on this side, got my son out here holding the light. I'm just grabbing it from the engine mount. I put the timing cover back on there, put the head back on it, and grabbing it from the engine mount. Just gotta slide it on out. Try to make up a pallet or something, see how I'm finna drag this thing. It's the 3rd engine that I gotta throw in the garage. But she out of there, man. I knew I was gonna get it out. Gotta get everything cleaned up. And of course I left the power steering right here, still hooked up. I ain't even touched none of that power steering stuff. So she leaked out at, so she out of there. Got my son out here. Gotta get this off too. We gonna finish working. See how I'm finna get this down to the garage. Engine and the transmission. That's what you got sons for. That pallet didn't work. Take all this stuff out this car, throw this hood back on. But we stacked up all 3. So let me go ahead and throw this pallet in here, get on in the house. I barely made it.